not a disgruntled wideout? A.J. Brown. We're going to go out to A.J. Brown because the Eagles are back. Everything is hunky-dory. A.J. Brown was not traded in the offseason. But boy, oh boy, the media, the Eagles reporters down in the locker room, they just had to ask a million questions. A.J. Brown. I think at this point, they're just waiting for A.J. Brown to say, I fucking hate this place. I want everybody to get explosive diarrhea. I don't know what they're expecting. I'm going to go to A.J. Brown. This is A.J. Brown talking to the media about not being traded by the Eagles. If things ever got close, we'll break this down as we go. Here's A.J. Brown.
So what have these last 2 weeks been like for you? I feel like there's been a lot going on between the injury, some trade speculation, or at least talk about it. Just what's it been like for you the past 2 weeks?
Here's the thing. Where's that trade speculation coming from? Did that come from Howie? Did that come from Jeffrey Lurie? Did that come from a team source? I seem to remember that being conversation that kind of sort of started on Sports Talk Radio. But we'll continue. And also Diana Rossini. Well, she's also part of it. Let's keep going.
Out in the front and out in the back of my yard, playing football with my son. That's it.
Did you ever feel like there was a chance you would be traded?
I don't know. I think, it's the nature of the business. But like I said, my focus was be present with my family, my kids, and get healthy.
Okay. Did you ever think you were going to be traded? I heard some people today opining that A.J. Brown screwed up because he should have said, no, I never thought I was going to be traded. All right, there's this report from Rossini that was going around. There clearly was some kind of tension. There was tension last year. I've yet to get the feeling that the Eagles are actively shopping A.J. Brown. Is he going to say, no, there was no chance he was going to be traded? No, because he's not in the front office. He doesn't ultimately have control over that. And he says he's trying to be present for his family. Okay, let's continue.
Speaking of getting healthy, how are you feeling? Do you think you're trending the right direction for Monday?
I'm playing.
So he's playing Monday. Love that. I want you to watch Devontae Smith right over here because this is about where it's going to get very good. Look for the Devontae Smith reaction.
Is this a place you want to be?
Yeah, well, has I said anything to...
I just want to go back to that real quick. I just want you to... Devontae Smith. Is this a place you really want to be? All right, let's go back. Devontae.
Has I said anything to not be here or something like that? Yeah.
I mean...
Oh, no.
A.J. Brown's just like, have I ever said anything that says I don't want to be here? Devontae Smith kind of looks at him like, oh, boy.
I'm got to ask the question.
Yeah.
AJ.
No, that's actually the thing. You don't have to ask the question. You don't have to ask the question. Do you want to be here? This is where I get so frustrated, right? This is why I feel like I'm going to lose my mind at any given point. Because you have Sports Talk Radio that is looking for things to talk about. I get it. It's not easy to do a 4-hour shift if there's nothing controversial going on. I get it. I do. Now, could I make the case that perhaps the Sports Talk Radio stations would benefit from, spreading things around and not just being all Eagles all the time? Yeah. Well, Russ, the ratings are what matter. People are going to tune out if we talk about the Sixers, or the Flyers, or the Phillies. I don't know. I would think that if both stations are talking about all the teams, it probably isn't the case. But it's easy right now to just go, Eagles, Eagles, Eagles. Okay, what happened? Somebody took a dump in the janitor's closet. Was it A.J. Brown? That's essentially where we're at. Do you want to be here? Yes, not only did he say he wanted to be here, last year when WIP was perpetuating this idea that he didn't want to be here, A.J. Brown went on the afternoon show and confronted the host and was like, I want to be here. I like it here. I like the fans. I like that the fans support me. I like my team. I like the work. I like it. This is where I want to play. You go the whole offseason. Or things bad. You remember last year, Brandon Graham says the thing that makes it sound like the relationship between Brown and Hurts might be fractured. And if it is, that sucks. But okay, those are two guys. It doesn't necessarily mean that A.J. Brown hates the rest of his team. Okay. You fast forward. There was some contrived attempts to create controversy out of it in the offseason, in training camp, in the preseason, and throughout the whole season. What does A.J. Brown have to do at this point to get people to stop asking, Do you want to be here? Like, what does he have to do? Does he have to get Philly tattooed on his neck? Right? Like, what does he have to do, Andrew? Like, what does he have to do?
So is your beef mainly with like talk show hosts or the guy that specifically who asked that question?
It's with all of it.
Because I don't have a problem with him
who-
asking the question.
Okay, go ahead. Explain.
Well, it's a legitimate question. And if he said, if the
Do
answer
you want
is,
to be here is a legitimate
Yes.
question.
why is that not a legit? Has there not been
Do people have to ask AJ Brown that every week?
No, but I don't know if
Does
who
anybody
was
ask
it that asked
Saquon Barkley every week? If Devontae Smith doesn't have enough targets, do they ask Devontae Smith every week?
Russ, Saquon Barkley's not tweeting after games.
AJ Brown posts to Instagram. I don't think he tweets that much.
Okay, whatever.
Don't go after Instagram.
At 1K always open. Like
That's
what
right.
was the cryptic thing that he put out the other week?
Something about like using me without using me.
Yeah, he had 100-something yards and 2 touchdowns in that game.
Mm-hmm.
So
Here's
like,
the thing.
why is he posting that?
I wonder if he's trolling. Although I will say this, I don't like when athletes troll. I think that like at some point the trolling is no longer funny. Like with Embiid, he was a troll as a younger guy in the league. And then eventually he like kind of reined it in. And I think that's smart. It's part of the maturing process. And also he hasn't won jack shit. In AJ Brown's case, I think he's actually able to do a little bit of trolling because he helped this team win a championship. But I do wonder, like, if there is trolling here, he should probably stop. Now, if he means everything that he puts out and he likes doing the cryptic stuff, that is a problem. That is because what it ultimately does, and where I would make the argument it's bad, is he's not the only one who then has to answer the question. Because then the question goes to the quarterback and to the other receivers and to the running back and to the line and maybe even the defense and the coaches and
the coach
and the GM and the owner. And like, that's where it gets to be too much. If the idea is he's fine with like kind of causing mayhem a little bit and trolling, that's okay to a certain point.
Right. So
but only if it's limited to him.
If he's going to keep doing that, then I don't think you can be mad at people for asking him questions about it then. Or talking about it on the radio.
Well, I think you ask about the Instagram post, you ask about the tweet. I don't necessarily know if like, listen, Elliot Shore Parks asked the question about, did you think you were going to be traded? And he said, I don't know, it's a business. I get it.
I think that's a reasonable question.
Do you have to follow it up with, do you want to be here? Like, why?
Well, because can you imagine if he said
Let me ask you a question. What's the alternative? AJ Brown says, no, I don't like it here.
That would be news. And the Eagles should probably know.
The trade deadline's over. If he really wanted to apply pressure, if he really hated it here that much, guess what? 2-3 weeks ago, he'd have said, I hate it here. I don't want to be here. I don't like my quarterback. I don't like the coach. I don't like the offensive coordinator. That's what he would have done. If he really didn't like being here, he could have gone absolutely rogue and flamed his team, and he didn't do it. So I don't get it. I don't get what the fixation is on saying, oh, you really want to be here? Like, just stop.
All right, fine. I'll fine. If going forward they continue to push this narrative, then I would lean towards your side of the media's taking it too far. But like, I mean, you also have to remember the Eagles were on a bye week, so there wasn't really a whole lot else going on. With all of the speculation going around, and you know, the Instagram thing that a couple weeks ago was not the first instance of rumors coming out of that. Right. Remember there was this thing like 2 years ago where like he and Hurts supposedly had a what do you call it? Like a beef, and then they had to like dap each other up in front of the team. Like this has been going on for a while. I don't think it's necessarily a coincidence. With that said, I don't think that means necessarily that he wants to get out of here. But I think it's worth digging into a little bit at least. That's why I really don't have an issue with anyone asking him the question. Now, I will say the Devontae Smith thing, I didn't notice it until you pointed it out. That's a little odd. So
why?
What do you think he was making that face?
He's not making a face about AJ Brown, like saying like, oh no, he's full of shit. He's making the face of like, oh, there you go, asking the question.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
That's what I read that as, is him going like, oh, you're asking him the question. Not as in like, oh, you think this guy's telling you the truth. No,
okay. All right.
Now I took it as, oh, look at you asking the question, hot stuff. Like, that's what I think that was.